Hi students, good morning everybody. Welcome back to English class. So in the last video we have started our first poem Once Upon a Time, written by the Nigerian poet Gabriel Okara. Okay, so let us have a short sum up of what we have seen in the last class. So actually this poem is a conversation between the father and his son. The poet is saying all these things to his son. Okay, so what we have seen in the first stanza is, so once upon a time. So once upon a time is a phrase here. Okay, so once upon a time the people used to laugh with their hearts and laugh with their eyes. That is, they laughed wholeheartedly and their eyes expressed all the emotions. But now the people are simply laughing with fakeness in there. There is no reality in there. There is no truth reality in their smile. Okay, and in the second stanza what we have seen, so there was once a time where people shaked their hands wholeheartedly when they meet each other, but now that is gone. They are just shaking hands without any wholeheartedness, and their hand is searching our pocket. That means they are just evaluating the poet when they are meeting him. That is, they are showing their fakeness. There is no love, warmth, emotions, feelings in their conversation or in their handshake or in anything. Okay, and what we have seen in the third stanza is, so whenever we are going to their home, they'll be telling feel at home, come again, come and visit again. But when we actually go to their home, okay, say they shut their doors against us. That is, they are not interested on or meeting with us, or as we are going to their home, they are not interested, and everything is only with fakeness. So the poet is greatly disappointed because of the fake expression of the people he is meeting with. So this is what we have seen in the last class. Now let us go for the next stanza. So I have learnt many things, son. I have learned to wear many faces like dresses: home face, office face, street face, host face, cocktail face, with all their conforming smiles like a fixed portrait smile. Right. So what the poet says here is, so I have learnt many things. So he is telling to his son he had learnt many things. Okay, so here many things refers to what all he had learnt. So what he had learnt, so he had learnt that all the people are expressing only their fakeness, right? So I have learnt many things, son. I have learned to wear many faces like dresses. So like dress. So when we are going for any celebrations or any functions or any special things, for any attending some special occasions, we will be wearing dresses according to the occasion or function or celebration that we are attending. If we are going for grand functions, we will be wearing grand dresses. Likewise, our dresses will vary according to the celebrations or functions or places where we are going. Okay, so likewise, the poet had learned to wear many faces like dresses. So, dress nama change pandra madri. The poet has also learned to change many faces according to the situation and according to the occasion, like home face, office face, street face, host face, and cocktail face. Okay, so in the home he will be acting according to the people in the home. So when he goes to the office, he will be acting according to the people there. When he is going in the street, walking in the street, he will be he will be acting according to the people whom he is meeting in the street. So likewise, host face, cocktail face. So what does mean by cocktail? Means a face with mixed emotions. Okay. So we can change our emotions, we can change our face. So he had learned to change his face, he had learned to change his emotions according to the people whom he is meeting. So like dresses, as how we will be changing our dresses according to the occasions, he had learned to change his faces according to the people whom he is meeting. Okay, with all their conforming smiles like a fixed portrait smile. Okay, with all their conforming smiles. It means, so he had learned to wear a artificial smile in all the occasions. Okay, so portrait smile abdina, you know what is mean by portrait. Okay, so that is a picture on the wall. So நம்மளோட ஃபேஸை ஒரு ஃபோட்டோ எடுத்து நம்ம பிக்சரில் வாலில் ஹேங் பண்ணி வைக்கிறோம் அப்படின்னா, ஸோ how it will be, how that portrait it will be, அந்த பிக்சர் எடுக்கும்போது நம்ம ஸ்மைலி ஃபேஸோடு இருந்ததுன்னா the picture photo will be smiley. If you are in sad face, it will be always sad. Okay, so it will be expressing same thing இல்லையா. So likewise he had like a fixed portrait smile. ஸோ ஒரு போர்ட்ரைட்டில் ஸ்மைல் பண்ண ஃபேஸோட ஒரு ஃபோட்டோ இருந்ததுன்னா அது எப்படி ஆல்வேஸ் ஸ்மைலிங்காக இருக்குமோ, ஸோ லைக்வைஸ் he had learned to smile in all the occasions. But அந்த ஸ்மைலில் ஒரு ட்ரூத்னஸ் இருக்கா அப்படின்னு கேட்டால் no, because like all the other people, the poet had also learned to express fakeness in everything, because the people whom he is meeting all are expressing only fake things. Okay, so likewise he had also learned to live fakefully. So let us go for the next stanza. And I have learned to laugh with only my teeth and shake hands without my heart. I have also learned to say goodbye when I mean good riddance, to say glad to meet you without being glad, and to say it's been nice talking to you after being bored. Okay, so and I have learned to. So here to means, okay, நானும் கற்றுக்கிட்டேன், நானும் learn பண்ணிக்கிட்டேன். So so here I refers to the poet. So what the poet had learned is, he had learned to laugh with only my teeth. It means he had also learned to learn to laugh without any wholeheartedness in the laugh, without any love, without any emotions, without any feelings in the laugh. He had also learned to laugh fakefully and shake hands without my heart, and also he had learned to shake hands without any wholeheartedness. I have also learned to say goodbye when I mean good riddance. Okay, so actually what is the meaning of good riddance is, okay, so good riddance means, so when we are meeting someone, okay, so when we are meeting some unwanted person, okay, so what we will be thinking, நம்ம எப்படி நினைப்போம், எப்படா போவாங்கன்னு நினைப்போம் இல்லையா. ஸோ அவங்க போனதுக்கப்புறம் we will feel a sense of relief or relaxed. okay, ஸோ அவங்க போனதுக்கப்புறம் என்ன நினைப்போம், அப்பா போயிட்டாங்கன்னு நினைப்போம் இல்லையா. ஸோ தட் இஸ் குட் ரிட்டன்ஸ். ஸோ ஐ ஹாவ் லேர்ன். ஸோ குட் பை எப்போ சொல்லுவோம், ஒருத்தர் ஹாப்பியாக மீட் பண்ணுறோம் அப்படின்னா, so when we are really happy of meeting a person, we will be telling goodbye. So goodbye is an expression of happiness, and good riddance is an expression of meeting an unwanted person. Okay, so the poet had learned to say goodbye when he actually wants to say good riddance. To say glad to meet you, so glad means happy. Okay, so to say glad to meet you, and also the poet had learned to say happy to meet you without being glad, that is without being happy. Okay, so actually the poet is not happy in meeting that person, but irundhalum what he will be telling, he will be telling glad to meet you, happy to meet you. Okay, and to say it's been nice talking to you after being bored. Okay, so if he is meeting, if the poet is meeting some person, and if he is actually feeling bored of meeting that person, okay, so his actual sense is he is really bored of meeting that person, but he will be telling it's been nice talking to you, I'm happy of talking to you, happy of meeting you. Okay, so what the poet says in this stanza is, because all the people whom he are meeting in his present life, they are expressing everything without any love, emotion and wholeheartedness. So avangkitta irundhu the poet had also learned to live fakefully. He had learned to smile artificially. He had learned to shake hands without any wholeheartedness. And when he actually wants to say good riddance, he is telling goodbye. And when he is actually not happy of meeting a person, he is telling glad to meet you. And when he is actually feeling bored of meeting a person, he is telling it's been happy, nice of talking to you. So the poet had learned to live a life with fakeness. That is what expressed in this stanza. So he had learned to keep his real character hidden. அவரோட ரியல் கேரக்டரை ஹைட் பண்ணி வச்சுட்டு he had written his real character and shows the world a fake character. Okay, so that is what we have seen in this stanza. So let us go for the next stanza. But believe me, son, I want to be what I used to be when I was like you. I want to unlearn all these muting things. Most of all, I want to relearn how to laugh. For my laugh in the mirror shows only my teeth like a snake's bare fangs. Okay, but believe me, son. Okay, but he is telling to his son. So actually this poem is a conversation between the poet and his son. So, but believe me. Okay, so have confidence on me. Believe me, my dear son. I want to be what I used to be when I was like you. So understand the line clearly. I want to be. Who wants to be? The poet wants to be what I used to be. So how he was used to be. When? Eppo abdina. When I was like you. You means here son. Okay, in this I, all this three I refers to the poet and you refers to the son, his son, poet's son, right? So the poet wants to be how he used to be when he was like his son. அவரோட son சின்ன பையனா இருக்கும்போது when at his younger age அவர் எப்படி இருந்தாரோ. Okay, so like that he wants to live now. That is, he was not happy in living a fake life. So I want to be what I used to be when I was like you. So when the poet's son was, when the poet was a little boy like his son, he had lived a life very happily, very joyfully, a life with love, emotions, wholeheartedness, everything. So likewise he wants to live a life now. Okay, I want to unlearn all these muting things. Okay, so unlearn means get rid of. Okay, so here unlearn means the poet wants to get rid of all these muting things. Muting things means the things which mutes the poet. That means the things which is making silent his real emotions and wishes to return to a natural style of living. Okay, so listen, muting things அப்படின்னா the thing which mutes the poet, அதாவது அவர் நேச்சுரல் லைஃப் ஸ்டைலில் இருக்க விடாமல் எதெல்லாம் அவரை வந்து தடுக்குதோ he wants to get rid of all those things. Okay, so unlearn means here the meaning is get rid of. So what he wants to get rid of is he wants to get rid of all the muting things. So inga muting things அப்படின்னா the things which is restricting the poet from living a natural lifestyle. Okay, so all these things he wants to get rid of, come out of. Okay, most of all I want to relearn how to laugh. Okay, so what the poet wants to relearn. Okay, that is what he wants to learn again is he wants to relearn how to laugh. Actually, the poet now wants to learn how to laugh wholeheartedly. For my laugh in the mirror shows only my teeth like a snake's bare fangs. Okay, so fangs means the poisonous teeth of a snake. Okay, the poisonous teeth of a venomous snake used to inject poison. So venomous means poison. So the teeth of a poisonous snake. Okay, so the poet wants to relearn how to laugh. So he wants to relearn how to laugh. Why? Because for my laugh in the mirror shows only my teeth like a snake's bare fangs. Because his laugh is his artificial laugh in the mirror. Okay, it is reflecting his fake personality. Okay, the artificial smile is, okay, when he laughs at the mirror, his artificial smile, the poet's artificial smile is reflecting his fake personality like the poisonous teeth of a snake. So அதனால அவர் என்ன பண்ணணுமா, he wants to relearn, he wants to learn again how to laugh wholeheartedly. Can you understand the stanza? Listen. So he is telling to his son he wants to be when he was like, so when he was a small boy like his son, he had lived an honest life, he lived a genuine life, he lived a life full of wholeheartedness and love. Okay, so I want to relearn. The poet wants to unlearn, get rid of all the things which restricts the poet from living a natural style of life. Most of all, I want to relearn how to laugh. So he wants to learn again how to laugh, because his laugh in the mirror is reflecting his teeth like a poisonous snake's teeth. Right? So this is what the poet says in this stanza. Simply, if we want to say, the poet is totally unhappy of his fake personality. Okay, now let us see the last stanza. So, show me, son, how to laugh. Show me how I used to laugh and smile. So show me, son, how to laugh. So he is asking to his son, please tell me how to laugh. Why he is asking to his son means, so children don't know fake things. Children cannot express anything fakely. So they show everything what they feel inside. ஒரு குழந்தைங்களுக்கு என்ன பண்ண தெரியாது. They don't know how to act, they don't know how to cheat, they don't know how to express anything fakely. That is falsely. So he is asking to his son, show me how to laugh. How to laugh means how to laugh sincerely, how to laugh truthfully, how to laugh genuinely, how to laugh wholeheartedly. He is asking to his son because children doesn't know anything to express fakely, right? So show me how I used to laugh and smile once upon a time when I was like you. Okay, so he is asking to his son to show him how he used to laugh and smile once upon a time. So here once upon a time is a phrase. So what is the meaning of this phrase? Can you understand now? So this phrase shows that the poet wants to be what he used to be once upon a time. Okay, because so he is asking to his son to show him how he used to laugh and smile when he was like his son. That is when I was like you, when he was like his son as a small boy. Okay, so what is the meaning of the phrase once upon a time here is, This phrase is showing us the fact that the poet wants to be what he used to be once upon a time when he was a small boy like his son. Okay, so this is what expressed in this stanza. So what is the overall concept of this poem is, the poet is totally very much disappointed and unhappy of the fake personality everyone is expressing. Okay, so he wants to learn a new life and he wants to live a life how he used to live during his childhood days. Okay, so this is what said in this poem. So let us have a short sum up of what we have seen in today's class. So in this stanza, what the poet says is, so he had also learned to express everything fakely, like how the people are changing their dresses. The poet had also learned to change his faces according to the places and the person whom he is meeting. Okay, and what is expressed in this stanza is, he had learned to show his artificiality, that is fake smile, fake handshake, and when he actually wants to say good riddance, he says fakefully goodbye. He says fakefully glad to meet you when he was actually not happy of meeting that person, and he is he is telling nice talking to you when he was actually bored of talking to that person. Okay, so what is expressed in this stanza is, he had learned to hide his original character and he had learned to live a fake character. And what is said in this stanza is, he is asking to his son, what he is asking is, he wants to, once upon a time when he was a small boy like his son, he had lived a life with genuine and honestness. So he wants to get rid of all the fake personality, fake character, and he wants to live a new life. He wants to relearn to laugh genuinely and honestly, because his artificial smile is reflecting his when he sees his artificial smile in the mirror, it is reflecting his fake personality like the poisonous teeth of a snake. So finally he is asking to his son, show me how to laugh. So please show me how to laugh. Show me how I used to laugh and smile once upon a time when I was like you. So when he was a small boy like his son, he had lived a genuine life. So he wants to live such a life again, and he wants to get rid of all the fake personality and the fake character. Okay, so this is what said by the poet Gabriel O'Hara in the poem Once Upon a Time. Okay, so we have completed this poem. So based on your understanding of the poem, answer the following questions in 1 or 2 sentences each. So you have to try finding answers for this. So what do you associate with the title of the poem? So what do you associate means? So what we associate, the poet is contrasting and comparing and contrasting his past life with the present life. Okay, so what is the relationship between the narrator and the listener? So who is the narrator? The poet is the poet Gabriel O'Hara is the narrator, and who is the listener? His son is the listener. So what is the relationship between both of them? Father and son. What happens to the poet when he visits someone for the third time? So when he visits someone for the third time, they are shutting their closed door against him, and they are actually not interested in their visit to their home for the third time. Pick out the expressions that indicate conflicting ideas. So what are the expressions which indicates conflicting ideas? So enna expressions nama paathom? For example, goodbye, good riddance, glad to meet you without being glad, it's nice talking to you, being bored. So unlearn, relearn. Then what else we have seen? Laughing with the heart, laughing with the teeth. So laughing with the heart means laughing wholeheartedly. Laughing with the teeth means that is a fake smile, fake laugh. Okay, so these are the expressions. So how does the poet compare his face with the dresses? So as how people change dresses according to the situations or occasions or celebrations, the poet has also learned to change his face according to the different varieties of people whom he meets. Next one. What pleasantries does the poet use to fake cordiality? So what are the pleasantries? Laugh with their teeth, laugh with their eyes. Okay. So understand the meaning of this question first. So what pleasantries does the poet use to fake cordiality? So pleasantries means, pleasant means happy. Okay. So does the poet use to fake cordiality? Cordiality means very sincere affection or kindness. Sincere affection, kindness. அதுதான் என்னன்னு சொல்லுவோம்? We call it as cordiality. So fake cordiality means insincere affection, unkindness. அதுதான் fake cordiality, opposite to cordiality. So அந்த மாதிரி என்னென்ன வேர்ட்ஸ் இங்கே யூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க? ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், laughing with their teeth, laugh with their eyes, அப்புறம் goodbye, glad to meet you, it's been nice talking to you. இதெல்லாம் ஃபேக்காக எக்ஸ்பிரஸ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க இல்லையா? ஓகே. Next one, what does he desire to unlearn and relearn? So what the poet wants to unlearn? He wants to unlearn all the muting things. What he wants to relearn? He wants to relearn what he wants to relearn? How to laugh. Okay. From his son. How is the poet's laugh reflected in the mirror? So how is the poet's laugh reflected in the mirror? Like a snake's fangs, that is like the poisonous teeth of a snake. What does the poet long for? So inga longing அப்படினா it is the length கிடையாது, it will not measure refer to the distance. Longing means yearning. Yearning na ஏங்கி இருக்கிறது. Okay, so what does the poet long for? So the poet is longing for the to live a life honestly, innocently, faithfully, sincerely. Okay, so that is what the poet is longing for. Next, mention the qualities the child in the poem symbolizes. So what are the qualities that the child symbolizes in this poem? So ஒரு சைல்டுனா எந்த மாதிரி குவாலிட்டிஸ் இருக்கணும் அப்படின்னு இந்த போயமில் சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. ஸோ அந்த poet சைல்ட்ஹுட்டில் poet வந்து அவரோட சைல்ட்ஹுட்டில் அவர் எப்படி இருந்ததா சொல்கிறாரு? He had learned to live wholeheartedly, அப்படின்னா genuinely, sincerely, honestly, இல்லையா? So these are all the qualities. Faithfully. Okay, these are all the qualities the child symbolizes. Okay, next, fill in the blanks choosing the words from the box given and complete the summary of the poem. Okay, try yourself. When you read the summary, you can have a still clear understanding of the poem. So read yourself and complete the dashes. Okay, fill the dashes yourself. So interpret each of the following expressions used in the poem in 1 or 2 lines, that we'll see later. Next, read the lines given below and answer the questions that follow. So this is poem comprehension. Next one is explain the following lines with a reference to the context. So reference to the context is new for 11th standard. So this question carries 3 marks. Okay, so you have to write a reference, you have to write context, and also you have to write the explanation. So each part carries 3 marks. Okay, this is shortly called as ERC, explain with reference to the context. Okay, so this question carries 3 marks. Totally you have to write 2 ERC. It carries 6 marks. So the next one is paragraph answer, and the next is first read the questions given below. Next, listen to an excerpt from a poem read out by your teacher or played in a recorder. Note how a child admires and prizes the abilities of his or her father. Then take the right answers from the options given. Okay, so you can find a paragraph at the end of your end of your book, you can read it and find the meaning, and then you can tick the correct answers. Okay. So this is what the poem is about. So we have completed our first poem. Hope every one of you have understood. Meet you in the next class. Thank you. Thank you, Pam.